I'm the Shine Today Podcast Varsity Squad. It's Scott Ferguson, and welcome to an awesome episode with my good friend and kind of some home cooking here in South Florida, Angeline Gillings. She was referred to me by one of my besties for the Rusty, Berta Medina, and I'm so glad that she did. And Angeline Gillings is a rock star coach. She's somebody that is built on empathy. She's built on transparency. She's built on honesty. And that's what I got. I had pages and pages of notes after interviewing her or during the interview. And it just made so easy for me to leave the interview. And I actually felt like I went through a coaching session. Somebody that pauses and reflects and realizes that everybody has a path. She respects that path, but she'll help them be that GPS, that guide for that path. So again, break out your notebooks, sit back and relax, because here comes my really good friend, Angeline Gillings from APMG Coaching. Let's level up. Time to Shine Today Podcast Varsity Squad. This is Scott Ferguson, and I have a little bit of a home cooking here in South Florida with my good friend Angeline Gillings, and she was referred to me by a super awesome sauce friend of mine and hers, Berta Medina. So, Berta, if you're out there,
Right.
thank you so much for this introduction because I know you listen to the show. But Angeline's passion lies in empowering individuals to achieve their full potential by harnessing their innate strengths and capabilities of self-actualization and personal fulfillment. As a business coach, Angeline supports business leaders by guiding them through exploratory discussions and assessment tools to identify their key areas of focus. And I am so stoked to bring Angeline on because she's such good energy. She's so much fun. Again, we're both fellow Floridians here in the sunny state, at least it's sunny today, state of South Florida. And Angeline, thank you so much for coming on. Please introduce yourself to Time to Shine Today Podcast Varsity Squad. But first, what's your favorite color and why?
Oh my gosh, that's tricky, but red is definitely up there.
I love red, and you're
Okay.
rocking it today. It looks
Yes,
beautiful.
red
If
is
you're
definitely up there.
and if you're watching on Vimeo or YouTube, you can see she's a stunning woman and classy, and she's got it all put together. And I just love it that she carved the time to come in here and drop some serious knowledge nuggets on y'all out there. But Ashley, let's get to the roots of kind of where you started with I guess in life and whatnot, but also moving forward into AMPG to really helping people level up their lives.
Yes. Well, after I shouldn't really say this, right? Because then, but I'm gonna say it because I'm very proud of that.
Yeah.
After 30 plus years in corporate,
Okay.
I left corporate and I it was actually at the beginning of the pandemic.
Okay.
So it was really a tricky time. And I was trying to decide what to do
Hmm.
based on just for the love of what I was doing in corporate. I was in marketing. I headed the marketing in a global space. And so I had some thoughts around what I wanted to do. No,
Hmm.
I'll tell you, I'm not one of those persons. I stick to my comfort zone and I like something that's predictable. And one of that predictability concern would have been income. When you're in
You think?
corporate, you're getting
Yeah.
every month what that is. And so that I was holding on to that because I just wasn't ready to step out in this unknown
Yeah.
in many different factors. And eventually it led me, after thinking and going back and having some revelation, spiritual and otherwise,
Hmm.
I decided that, hey, I wanted to support people. And that came from my feeling somewhat guilty because I am a hard worker. I work very hard. I committed a lot in corporate, and I felt that I did not give back as much as I
Hmm.
wanted to.
Love
And
it.
that was a big trigger for me to be
Okay.
able to give back while making an impact, influence, and income for sure. I'm not going
Yeah.
to hide that.
Yes,
So yeah,
please.
that was a trigger for me.
I love it. So did you work kind of corporate and also start building AMPG,
No,
or
no,
did you
no.
step
It
right out
was,
of corporate
yeah, it was
into
a clean, like
clean
corporate
break? Okay.
pause because the pandemic caused me to pause. But that pause was good because it was a time of reflection for
Oh,
me.
love that. And I love that you said pausing and reflection, because that's a lot of times when I'm taking clients through coaching sessions, it's the pause is where a lot of
Yes,
the nit and gritty kind of comes out, right?
that's
So
right.
I love it. So how scary was it?
How scary?
Yeah.
Oh, very, very, very scary. I remember sitting and another part of the being scary was while I was head of marketing, the culture of the company that I was with, the senior executives,
Mm,
they were the face of the business. So I was the person behind the scene doing all the leading the team, my team and myself in terms of the brand work and really
sure.
making a good thing out there. But it's our leaders who were out there. And I love that. I
Yeah.
love doing what I didn't like the limelight.
Okay.
And so here was this me stepping out now and saying, all right, so I wanted to support people and I wanted to find a way to support people that I was doing this behind the scene.
Ooh.
And the scary part is when I started, I realized that there was no way that I was going to be successful if I didn't set up myself to shine, and shining mean that I was going to be out there.
Yes. Yeah. And the thing is, what people don't know about me is I'm an introvert. Like I love my time. I love
Mhm.
behind the scenes stuff, but I also was blessed with a gift from God to really have a voice. When I'm on
Yes.
stage, my nickname's a boomer because I one time I had to carry 600 people in an audience with no mic because it went out.
Yes.
So I can really bring it, but you'll also see me at a sushi restaurant or anywhere just sitting by myself and really pausing, reflecting and relaxing. So it's nice because I had a coach that really said, "Listen, you need to unleash this onto people. Like people need to hear
Yes.
what you have to say." And I'm glad that you took that step. So I know that your company is AMPG. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what goes on at AMPG?
Yeah, well, what goes it's about coaching primarily. And
Okay.
again, the scary part, I like coaching because it was behind the scene. But as I came out and started to really work in the field, I realized that there were opportunities around speaking and training. I did
Mm.
training in my professional life. I was kicking and screaming when I had to do it, but I realized how much it has helped me now.
Right.
And speaking, and interestingly, speaking is what has risen to the top in
Okay.
terms of what I'm doing a lot of. And I find that I'm passionate. I'm always passionate, but
Yes.
I'm passionate when I'm speaking and I get good feedback. And I said, oh my gosh, here am I starting out wanting to be in the back. And MPG was about coaching and supporting people in the background so they can shine. And
Ooh.
and it's still my mandate. They are the ones to shine. But yes, so AMPG is it's my initials, and but I have many spins to it.
Yeah,
Amplified
even
growth.
better. Tell us the acronym for it.
Yes, AMPG is about amplified growth. And if we go by letters, it's authentic, meaningful, purposeful growth.
Yeah, that is awesome. That did you kind of come up with that, or is it something that someone said to you, or did you put it in Chat GPT? Like, how did that kind of come
No,
up?
no, no. I struggled with different names,
I
and
love your name. Are you
yeah,
kidding me?
Angela, yeah,
It's
struggled with
perfect.
different versions, and then AMPG came up, and then the amp. When I got the amp, I said, "Oh yeah, that is the amp. I need to do that."
Okay.
So the P is my maiden name,
Okay.
and me. So I said, "I love amp," and then I added the G because the G can take so many
I
growth
love it.
and God
Amp it
everything.
up. I love it.
Yes. So I actually made that up. And the
Okay.
letters now, as you have to do these like profile about yourself, and
Hmm.
these words kept coming up from me and also feedback.
Hmm.
And I said, hey, here's authentic is one of my major personality trait.
Yes.
And so I found that those letters fit nicely with
It's
my own
beautiful. Angela,
elements that describe me.
fantastic. So when you're coaching somebody, or maybe you're in a discovery period, kind of one on one. with somebody, is what is some of your secret sauce, if you don't mind sharing, to help them maybe start like in identify that initial blind spot?
The first thing is the rapport, to really build that rapport and find something that connects.
Ooh,
I find that there are different things that you hear my accent. I'm from Jamaica originally.
yes, I love
And
it.
and that could be a starting point. A lot of times it's a starting point.
Yeah.
And we have persons who have visited. So it's building that rapport and warming up and letting the prospect feel that this is not a sell job. And it's really not a sell job because I'm not good at selling, by the way. So
Hmm.
it's not a sell job, and get us to start speaking, and then the conversation transitions. If we're doing that well, the conversation transitions easily into, hey, why you started business?
Mm.
What were you thinking about? What was your vision when you
Take
started?
them the vision.
And
Yeah.
it's a conversation, and it's about making them feel that you really care, you really
Yes.
want to hear the
Yes.
stories behind the business.
I love that you're digging into them and not trying to shine you on them, right?
No.
Because it's about them. I can just see you in a session really listening in and listening with all your senses, not just what they're saying, but listening, seeing their mannerisms. And I call that listening with your neck, because you're really leaning in and
Yes.
hearing that. I love that. So, Angeline, if you're maybe still in the discovery session while you're kind of talking, is kind of building up, making sure you're the right coach for them. Is there any good question that you wish they would ask you but never do?
Uh, they probably, it's, I would say after sharing a lot, they're probably more interested in thinking that I want to sell them. So they want to get to that as to, okay, what are you offering? It's more about what is it about you and your background that make you think that you are able to support me in this way?
Yes.
And so it's a way of bringing me in, but bringing me in their perspective, what
Yes.
they want to learn, and not
That
what I want to tell them.
that is amazing. Because I mean, first of all, they have to be coachable, right? I mean,
Yes.
whoever it is, they have to be coachable. But what is it about Angeline that makes you feel that you can be that support system to me, that you can help me pause, reflect, and really move forward? I love that. Love that. So then, Angeline, what do you feel makes a great coach?
Listening. That's the
Yes.
first thing.
Yes.
That's the first thing. And the second thing is that you truly care, but that's probably attached to listening also. Because
Yes.
if you really care, you're going to want to listen, and this is not about you. And interestingly, the technicalities are what come really last.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh wow. That's great.
yeah,
That's so true.
it for me anyway, at the end, it's really, yes, they want to know, how can you help me here? And we also have to be so careful that we get so attached with this personality and understanding and the rapport
Yeah.
also, that I too may forget to say, hey, I have skill sets. I've been successful in business, and for that to come through. But
Yes.
that is important. But the
Yeah.
first thing is to let them feel comfortable, that you understand their needs, what their concerns are,
Right.
and that you want to make a difference.
Love it. And what do you feel your strengths are?
Oh, I it's uh, everything around people.
Okay.
Yeah, I am empathetic. I
Yeah.
am caring, and I'm authentic, and it's natural. I was
Yes,
trying to find a way to
yes, it
say it
is.
otherwise.
That's how it is. The first time that we had a talk a few months ago, and we were just kind of having our own little discovery conversation. I got that from you. You are who you are. When you show
Yeah,
up, this
yeah,
is where you are, whether you're in front of me
yeah,
or you're out having beverages with the ladies and just hanging out. So I love
yeah.
that about you. That's fantastic. How about weaknesses? What are you really looking to really turn up and lean into for yourself?
All right. So it probably ties back again with my just not wanting to be out there a lot. And someone once said, and I've heard it a few times in different ways, get out of your head, get
Yes.
yourself out of your head.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
I'd be saying something like, gosh, so if when I'm listening back to this podcast, I probably say, oh my gosh, I don't don't want to hear it. And so, and the point has been made. Hey, you talk about your audience. There are
Yes.
thousands, probably a million
Yes.
listening. And so me getting caught up with how I sound and guess what? There are going to be thousands who are and maybe more who will listen to this and guess they don't have the issues that I'm having.
Sure.
So
And
yeah, I
there's
just need to
thousands
get
of
out
them
of
that
my
will
head.
never take the leap and do what you do.
Exactly.
So you're just to have that courage to really take that radical leap
Yes.
into this pool, which is a crowded pool. But what I noticed about what you're saying is you're not so much a consultant, even though you walked that path,
Yes.
right? You're a real coach. Like I don't
Yeah.
consult because I work with a lot of C-suite people, a lot of C-suite people. And first of all, they think I'm gonna come in and tell them how to do business. I don't know their business. They forgot more about their business than I'll ever know. But I know that everybody knows what they want. They just don't know how to talk
Exactly.
themselves into
Exactly.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so I can help. Once I find that, then they're on the road. Once they feel, oh man, he's not trying to tell me how to do my work. Because I'll tell you this 90% of the time when I coach people and they want to increase their production at work, it's usually something that's going on at home. It's usually something
Exactly.
in their personal life, you know?
That is so true. You start off the somewhere in the conversation, you say, so what are the main challenges you have? And they may tell you some things. And you say, tell me more, tell me more,
Yeah.
tell me more. And as they tell you more and more, you realize that it was not what they said initially.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of
Yeah.
times, one of the most powerful questions I ask people is we're still trying to dig deep and see where that root cause is or whatnot, or what their main challenges is. I mean, what's your morning routine? Because then it takes them home. It takes, oh man, kids are get all over the place. They're going to school. Me and my husband are barely speaking. And then I can kind of take that and just
Hmm.
find out what it's there. And that's what I love because then they can take that power and then roll it over into their corporate life.
That's right.
What
That's
they have.
right.
That's beautiful. I can just see you doing that in spades. That's beautiful. So let me ask you something, Angeline. Have you seen the movie Back to the Future?
No, no, I'm not
Okay,
a movie person.
no
So
problem. So it's about this guy that goes back in time, right? And so if you could go back to the 22-year-old, the Angeline, is there anything you would do not to change anything because your journey's been pretty awesome, but to maybe help her shorten her learning curve or blast through maybe just a little bit quicker?
I would, yeah, I would say well, I was much more shy. That's one thing for sure.
Okay.
So I would have stepped out much earlier, if that is
Yeah.
it, in terms of just
Yes.
shining out there. I started off, interestingly, I'm in business and worked in business for 30 plus years, but I actually started out doing chemistry and being a science person. So I worked in the lab, a chemical lab,
Mhm.
worked in manufacturing in terms of product development, etc., from a chemical and technical standpoint. And I found out through that my real connection was working with people. I needed to understand. That's how I got into
You
marketing
need that
because,
community a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think earlier on, I may have, even though I enjoyed my chemistry days, I did well. I just said, oh, what if I had started out earlier?
Hmm.
Just understanding and working around people versus test tubes and microscopes and all of that.
I love it.
So yeah, I don't really have any regret because it was
No,
good
no
and so
regrets.
and it actually helped me in my
Sure.
later professional life because I ended up blending the two. But I think because of my passion around just helping people and
Yes.
people, yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
I'd have done more.
hindsight's 2020. I mean,
Hmm.
we could look back, oh, I would have did this, and this. But when I first coach people, I put them in their car. If I'm blessed to coach them in person, I put them in their car and I sit in the passenger seat and they're there. And I say the rear view mirror, it's small for a reason. That's where your past is. It's a great
Hmm.
place to learn from, and it's a great place to visit for great memories. But we don't live there. But like
Hmm.
we have this huge windshield in front of us. It's scary. It's where we're going. And ever since 2011, they make these things called GPSs. That's what I am
Yes,
as the coach. That's how I remind them. I'm like, I'm not going to do the work. I don't even know where you want to go. We got to figure
exactly.
out where you want to go, and we're going to navigate that way there. So sitting in their car, I'm able to really kind of get that metaphor and get it moving forward and just start asking the question. So, Angeline, how do you want your dash remembered? That little line in between your incarnation date and your expiration date, your life date and your death date. Hopefully, it's way down the line, but how does Angeline want her dash remembered?
That's easy. Upliftment. I want persons to look back and think that every interaction that I had with Angeline was uplifting. In some cases, I remember a team member telling me one day that I had called them in the room to reprimand them, and they didn't realize it was a reprimand until they went home because
That is a skill, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, they went home and they thought about. I said, what? Just the way that I dealt with it.
yeah,
And yeah, there are times when I get really firm, but at the
sure.
end of the day, yeah, it's about upliftment. It's about
I
making
love
you
that.
better. Yeah,
Yeah.
no question.
First of all, I love that you reprimanded in private because a lot of people
Yeah.
reprimand people in front of you. I mean, my mentor
No.
always said, praise people in public, reprimand in private.
Right.
So I'm
Yeah.
glad that you did that. And you did it in such a way that they thought, oh, they were actually leveled up and they left there. Wait a minute, there's a teachable moment in what
Yeah.
Angeline just gave me. So thank you for being a person like that. I love that. So, Angeline, what do you think people misunderstand the most about you?
Oh, again, yeah, that I'm not firm.
I bet
Yeah.
you can be.
Yeah.
Like I
No,
know some Jamaican men and women, they're really laid back, but I'll tell you what,
yeah,
man.
no, yeah, that, yeah. No,
Love
I'm
it.
serious. I'm one of those persons. I'm very committed. Whatever I say I'm gonna do, I'm very committed to that. And I'm
Mm.
very serious about getting it done.
Mm.
Whether it's me doing it on if it's something for me or if
Sure.
it's my team.
Love.
We need to get it done. If we are committed to doing something, we need to give it our best shot and
Yeah,
excellence.
that's
And
beautiful.
and so I'm very firm. I'm very, very firm on just the integrity what we have committed to do. My word is my bond. My team and I represent my team. If we say we're gonna give it our best, we're gonna give it our best.
Love
So
that.
my smile sometimes fools
That
persons that there's this iron lady behind that
oh,
smile.
I know, yeah. I can definitely see that. And I love that you hold yourself to the same accountability that you hold others with that. And that's I know coaches, unfortunately, that don't. They just don't. And I don't have any right to say anything to them, but I see it and it hurts me that they're not holding themselves to the same level of accountability. So what is Angeline's definition of a life well lived?
Of our life well lived.
Yes,
What's
ma'am.
it? Oh, yeah, a life well lived is start with my family.
Ooh.
That I continue to nurture them. They're adult children. Yeah, one married, one with her partner, hopefully soon to get married. But
Okay.
that I nurture them well, and I continue to nurture them, and I don't care how old they are and how old and frail I get.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
still going to be the
They're
mother
your
hen
babies,
around them.
man. They're
Yeah,
your
where?
baby. They're your babies.
Yeah,
When you have the
exactly.
babies, you have to say, I mean, my mom unfortunately passed in 2019, but she would introduce me up until I was almost 50 years old as her baby boy.
Yes,
So
yes,
I
yeah.
love that. And I love
Yes,
it.
it's my family and just persons in business, my integrity, very important. The fact that I supported through thick and thin and whatever way, my church family. I just love I just my different groups of family. I
Love it.
just want to continue to nurture those relationships and
I
connections.
love that you don't pigeonhole either, meaning like you have your faith, you have your friends, you have your family, but there's a nurture that umbrellas the whole thing. And I
Yes.
just love that. Thank you for doing that. Time to Shine Today podcast Varsity Squad. We are back at Angeline. I know that because we live so close, we're going to meet up one day. Hopefully, it's with Berta or something like that and
Yes.
discuss some of these questions at length. But today, you have 5 seconds to answer them, and they can all be answered that way. I promise you. Okay. So, you ready to level up?
Ah, let's hear
Let's
it.
do it. All right.
Let's hear it.
Angeline, what is the best leveling up advice you've ever received?
To to being is more important than doing.
Oh, I love it. Love it. Share one of your personal habits that contributes to your success.
My commitment and excellence.
Love it. Love it. So, other than your website, or of course my website, but what other website that you might go to help really kind of educate and level up your life?
John Maxwell.
Yeah, there you go.
I give it. I'm certified John Maxwell, so that's
I
my
love it.
go-to.
He
Yes.
goes to my church, so I love it. That's
Oh,
beautiful.
wow.
Yes.
Nice.
So if you see me walking down the street and you're like, man, Fergie looks like he's in his doldrums. He looks like he's down a little bit. Other than the good book, the Bible, what book might you hand me to help me level up my mind?
I would say the one philosophy, the one it's written by Nancy Matthews, and it actually speaks about being the one.
I love it.
So you're the one, and I can make you the one. It's not just what's in it for me.
Great read. Great read. So your most commonly used emoji when you text?
The laughing one,
Laughing,
especially with the leaning face.
Me too.
Yes.
Do you have any nicknames growing up?
Yeah, Anne.
Anne? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And do you have any hidden talents or superpowers that you have that nobody really knows about until now?
No.
No?
No,
Okay.
no hidden talents.
No problem. Chess, checkers, or Monopoly?
Monopoly.
Gotcha. Headline for your life?
She made me feel special and uplifted.
I love it. Do you have any superstitions at all?
No.
No. Gotcha.
No.
Go-to ice cream flavor?
Oh, dulce leche.
I love it. So there's a sandwich called the AMPG. Build that sandwich for me. What's on the sandwich?
It's gonna be jerk chicken.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be some jerk chicken with some what we call pear in Jamaica, but it's avocado. It's gonna have onions and lettuce and tomato, but yes, jerk chicken for sure.
Love it. I love it. What kind of bread?
Okay, it's gonna be wheat bread.
Gotcha. Love it. Is there any favorite charity and or organization you like to give your time or money to?
I focus on charities through my church, so different opportunities that are there. Soup kitchen, etc. Yeah.
I love it. And the last question, you can elaborate on this one, but what's the best decade of music? 60s, 70s, 80s, or 90s?
Oh, easy. 70s.
70s. Awesome. Who do you like to listen to in the 70s?
Manhattan.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Love it. My mom would love you. That's awesome.
Well, and from the Jamaica perspective, Bob Marley, but
of course, come on, of course, gotta have Marley on. I have Marley on probably once a week. It just helps me chill, relax, in this stuff. So, how can we find you, my friend?
All right, so LinkedIn is a good way. Just type in my name. It's there. You see my name. That's easy. And also on my website, ampgbusiness.com.
I love it. And it's a great website as well. And she also has a giveaway of Unleash the Power of Forward Thinking Leadership on there. I believe they're also going to offer kind of a free hour of power for somebody if they were maybe stuck on something that you might help them get through. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, I'd like to offer a 1 hour complimentary session where we talk through your challenges and let's see how we can find a way, even that 1 hour, to give at least one tip. Yeah. And this is not about selling you to, of course, I'd like to work with you if it's
absolutely. We want you to work with us.
Yeah, but we're going to find at least one tip in that 1 hour.
Yes. Love it. I love it. And also, I know that squad, listen on close here. Like she's going to be offering lunch and learns here moving forward in the future. So she promised to let me know when she does have them and when she's putting them together. So watch your emails for any lunch and learn that might be kind of coming out. And Angeline, could you do me one last favor, one last solid, and leave us with one last knowledge nugget that we can take with us, internalize, and take action on?
All right. So we started speaking about AMPG and my name.
Mhm.
So I'm known as the business archangel, your business archangel, and it's my wings of passion and empathy to support you in your professional and personal upliftment. And
Love
I
that.
can do that in just understanding your needs. I want to help you to solve your needs.
I love it. And then Angeline will help you become the most human, reach your ultimate human potential. And after this, I know that I feel better as well. And she reminded us she had 30 plus years in corporate. And after that whole pandemic thing, she really stretched her comfort zone. She got away from the comfort. She got away from the stability. She got away from that pretty much guaranteed paycheck. But she also knew deep down that she needed and wanted to help people. So she really paused and reflected and found a way to how to really support people. And that is such a baller thing to do. If you really think about it, Squad, I mean, she could be collecting a paycheck even now if she wanted to, right? Doing that, but she knew she had a higher calling, that archangel that really started to come out to really wants to help you. And she realized that she knows a way to be successful and she wanted to pay that forward. So she really launched AMPG coaching and to support the people so they can really shine. And I love her acronym of authentic, meaningful, purposeful, and growth. That's just fantastic. And she reminds us that a true good coach really listens with their neck, really cares. The rapport is crucial. That's
Right.
critical. And finding something with that person that can connect with. The prospect does not feel that there's no selling. Angeline provides a safe space for them to really dig deep with Angeline and to help them grow hand in hand to move forward. She is somebody that is very empathetic, caring, and authentic, and it just comes natural to her. She does these things for the intention, not the attention. I love that she was willing to step outside of herself. And I know that she had questions, and I know that she got her asking gear and asked the people to help her get to places. And that's what she wants you to do as well. She gives her best shot in everything that she does in life, but she's also very firm underneath that beautiful, smiley exterior that she has. And she reminds you that, hey, have a solid family. Nurture people, whether they're your kids or your loved ones, no matter how old they get and where you're at. Make sure you have a really solid faith foundation. And she is the archangel. She
I
wants
am.
you to help you spread your wings too. And that's what she does. She levels up her health. She levels up her wealth. She's absolutely stunning. She's a beautiful human inside and out. She's earned a varsity letter here at Time to Shine today. Thank you so much for coming on, Angeline. I absolutely love your guts so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. This
You're
was
welcome, love.
wonderful.
Talk
Bye.
soon.
Yes. Bye.